Labour Party would take that away, and they would bring back secondary picketing, knowing full well the intimidation and the violence that goes with it. And they say they care. Indeed, unemployment is caused by paying ourselves more than the value of what we produce. Indeed, unemployment is caused by paying ourselves more than the value of what we produce. So said the former leader of the Labour Party, the Right Honourable Member for Cardiff South and Penarth in 1976. Could Labour have managed a rally like this? Well, in the old days perhaps, but not now. For they are the party of yesterday, and tomorrow is ours. Over the last 3 or 4 decades, Labour, both in government and opposition, affirmed again and again that nuclear weapons were crucial to the defence of the West and to the preservation of peace. Well, what's changed? Not the defence needs of the West, but the Labour Party itself. And now, not content with getting rid of Britain's own nuclear deterrent, the Labour Party is committed to the unconditional removal of all United States nuclear weapons and nuclear bases from British soil and British waters. So to our American allies, Labour would be saying, we don't want your nuclear weapons on our soil, but we still expect you to help to defend our freedom. The opposition's policies would, I believe, hand the Soviet Union a major military, political and propaganda advantage in return for nothing. He actually tried to say that what they had in the Soviet Union was not socialism. Of course it was. Of course it was. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. Massive nationalization. And if he looks back at his speeches in opposition, he wanted more and more nationalization. Massively high taxation, which again is a way of taking people's rightful earnings away from them. And massive detailed controls, such detailed controls that at the end of the last period of Labour government, manufacturing output was lower than it was at the beginning. He omits to say that. You'd think from what they said that manufacturing output went up during the period of government. It didn't. It was lower at the end than it was at the beginning. On Wednesday, the 3rd of October, the Labour conference passed a motion giving its official backing to lawbreakers. The motion promised to support local councils, and I quote, forced to break the law as a result of the Tory government's policies. Forced to break the law, Mr. Speaker. In a democracy where you can vote at least once every 5 years to change the law through the ballot box, no one is forced to break the law. And that is not the language of those who believe in democracy, nor of those who believe in law. Who once told the European Parliament that before long, 80% of economic decisions would be taken in Brussels rather than by national governments. Yeah. Now, that's not very surprising, because socialism stands for intervention and central control. But the right honourable gentleman has an uncomfortable suspicion that a majority of people don't want a federal Europe. So he's in a dilemma. He likes to set his policies according to the prevailing wind, but he's not quite sure which way it's blowing. So he resorts to his usual tactic. The less he has to say, the more he says it. Also, we have 1 million more houses and flats in the dwelling stock than we had under Labour. The fact is, his government couldn't hold a candle to the record of our government on housing and on many, many other aspects. Last week, Mr. President, I seemed to hear a strange sound emanating from Blackpool, and I thought at first it was seagulls. Then Then I remembered that Labour was holding its annual conference there, and I realised it wasn't seagulls, it was chickens. Chickens being counted before they were hatched. Indeed, that inveterate diarist, Mrs. Barbara Castle, has recorded that to while away the time in a cabinet meeting, one of her, yes, no, they hate being reminded of their reckless stewardship of the economy of Britain. And as Mrs. Castle said, one of her colleagues in a cabinet meeting passed her a rhyme which said, all things bright and beautiful, all projects great and small, all things wise and wonderful, Dennis Healey cuts them all.